Hi, this is Matt with the Moon Lambo channel, and this is my first YouTube video, so thanks for clicking. Appreciate you watching. I think rather than delving into any serious content for the time being, I'd feel a little bit more comfortable just making a quick introductory video, what my plans are to do with this channel, and yeah, just some of my background. And I'm actually relatively new to the whole cryptocurrency space. I remember first watching a video on YouTube about Bitcoin, and it could have been, I don't know if it was late 2016 or early 2017. I thought, oh, that's neat. And just kind of put it in the back of my mind. And then I was, in November 2017, I was reading, just some articles popped up, I think it was on drudgereport.com, and there's an article that's on my screen right here. And this is, funny enough, this terrible headline is what led me to learn more about cryptocurrency and ultimately get into the whole XRP community. And so the headline here, 300 million in cryptocurrency accidentally lost forever due to a bug. Yep. That's what prompted me to jump on in. And I can't tell you exactly what my mindset was, but I started researching. I thought, okay, well, that's a bad thing that happened, but I thought, well, there's still something to this. And so I remember setting up my Coinbase account that day, and it was a Friday, so it must have been, this is November 10th, I believe, if that's a Friday. So I set up my Coinbase account, and I just made really small purchases. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I thought, hell, I mean, even if this is just gambling, whatever, just for the fun of it. So I bought a little bit of Ethereum. I bought one whole Litecoin, and at a minimal amount of Bitcoin, and I thought, well, I don't really know a whole lot about this, but it's been going up in value, and if this thing turns into something, maybe this could be worth a little bit more in 5 years or 10 years, and I thought I'd just play the long game, and I thought, well, if it goes to zero, so be it. I didn't put much in, and that's perfectly fine. And but then I started looking into it more, and it was fun at first. You know, you set up an account. I'm sure you guys remember when you were new to this. And you look at the price, and it's kind of neat to see it change from day to day. And so I, ended up going to, initially it was CoinMarketCap. I prefer Live Coin Watch now, so let's pull up this website. But I wanted to learn more. I was like, there's all these coins. I think at the time in November, maybe there's something like 1,500 coins or 1,600, or no, maybe it was like 1,300 on CoinMarketCap at the time. And so I just kind of went through one by one. And this isn't obviously not the order of ranking based on market cap back then. It's changed quite a bit. But I remember I went through dozens. I was scrolling through. And I kept having the same question with all of them. Like, all of these are projects, and they've all got their goals, right? In theory, not scams, hopefully. And BitConnect was up there, obviously. And I kept having the same question now. I was like, well, okay, so there's a project, but why do you have a coin attached to this blockchain? Why do you need value associated with this? Why are there so many different coins? Isn't this the reason we have money, so that you don't need to have so many different types of currencies just for specific purchases? I mean, you don't go to a grocery store and use a grocery store coin or currency. You don't go to get a haircut and use a haircut currency, and so on and so forth. So I thought, this doesn't make any sense. And nobody could really fundamentally answer me. Why? Why do these need to have coins? Why do they need to have values? Why not just projects on their own? But there was one that stood out to me, and if you're watching this, you probably already know which one that is. It's XRP. There's an actual use for it. There's a coin, a digital asset, cryptocurrency, whatever you want to call it, where it needs to have genuine value. It can't be backed by something like a fiat currency or anything like that. It needs to have its own actual market value in order to serve a purpose, at least for what Ripple intends to use it for. And I just found that fascinating. So I went through and learned more and read more and read more, and I just got so engrossed in it. And it just became, at that point, it was a pretty strong passion even early on. I was just so interested in it. And it was fun. I guess I jumped in at a crazy time because it was right before the bulk of the bull run happened. I remember it was a week after I had made my first initial cryptocurrency purchases on November 10th. So it was a week later. November 17th. And gosh, XRP must have been, I bought it like, I don't know, it was 21 or 22 cents. It was somewhere thereabout. And then, weeks later, as you guys know, we had that crazy XRP rally where it ultimately jumped up to, I think, close to $3.80 It was late December or early January when it hit that point. So it was a heck of a time for a new guy like me to jump in. And even after it started declining, I continued to do my research, and I thought I've always been of the long-term mindset. I've actually never sold any of my XRP to date, none of it. And so I just put my head down, kept researching more and more, and I joined Twitter. I decided, well, this is so fascinating. I want to engage with other people that find this interesting as well. And so I set up a Twitter account, which I had avoided like the plague for my entire adult life. It just seems like it always been described to me as the way it was described as something like a septic tank to me, essentially. But anyway, I set that up and found out there are a lot of good people out there and very knowledgeable, and I learned so much from so many people in the XRP community. And so then once I had learned fundamentally what Ripple is trying to do with XRP, I was like, I want to contribute to. That's what I thought. I thought, well, and then, towards the end of December, I was like, maybe I'll launch a YouTube channel. So I was thinking about it even towards the end of 2017, and never did that until today, of course. But I thought, well, I like writing, so I could maybe start a blog, and I did actually, and I posted just a couple things, and amazingly, they actually did get traction. Here, I'll just pull it up. I had this ready here. This is my blog now. Admittedly, it might as well be defunct at this point. Like I haven't. This is my most recent entry, and it was February 9th of 2018. And I enjoyed writing this. This blog here, I called it "Who's Competing with Ripple," and it's basically everything that I wish I had in one place when I started learning about XRP and what Ripple was doing with XRP. And, I had intentions of probably continuing this on with some amount of regularity, whether it would be every week or a few weeks or a month or whatever. And I hadn't carried on with it. And it's not for lack of interest, but I got to tell you, it's the way that I treat things when I write in a professional way, and not just on Twitter, that stuff, whatever, tweets are tweets. But when I write something like this and I'm publishing it for myself, I kind of torture myself in terms of the accuracy of the language, the precision of the sentences. And so I don't know if I should be embarrassed by stating this because, look, if you look up here, so it's estimated to be a 12-minute read. That's probably about right. It took me, I think, about 13 hours to write this. And I had already done the research. Like, I understood it. It was all up in my brain. And I did reference things to make sure I was getting everything as accurate as possible. But for me, that's just not a tenable situation. Like, how am I going to keep writing regular blogs if I'm going to torture myself to that degree? And so I thought, well, I need to get better at, loosening it up here in terms of how the level of accuracy I require of myself when it comes to specific wordings, proper sentences, this and that, grammar, all of that, or I can't do it. So I hadn't moved forward on that front, but my interest in XRP, it's never waned. So for me, this was never fad. I follow XRP news and the community on a daily basis. And ever since my last blog, the bulk of it had been through mostly retweeting stuff that I find that's interesting, but also engaging with other XRP community members because I really enjoyed the intellectual conversation, the thought process behind what makes sense, how is everything going to unfold, especially with XRapid now officially having been deployed within the last few months. And I'm so genuinely interested in this. So for me, it wasn't some sort of passing fad. Certainly not for me. And so the reason that I decided to launch my YouTube channel finally is, first of all, I'm not going to kill myself as much torture myself over my speaking here. I'm okay with allowing myself to fumble a little bit over words, but when it comes to the writing, for some reason, I just can't seem to do it. And so I thought about that point, and then I thought, well, also, I would like to engage with the people in the XRP community more. It's just fun for me. To me, it's like it's an interest. It's a hobby. I really like it. And so I thought this would be a good way to get out there and become more engaged. And so this is my first video. I've been thinking about it for so long, and finally I was like, you know what? I've been thinking about it. It's been in the back of my mind for the better part of a year, and if I don't just finally pull the trigger, I'm never going to do it. So I was like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I took out my laptop today, and I just started recording, and so the audio quality is not great. I actually do have a nice microphone, so moving forward it should sound a lot better. I think what I bought was the Yeti. I bought it back almost a year ago, and I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel, and I thought I was back then, but I thought, well, I better wait. And also part of the reason being, if you're going to launch something like this, it's a big time commitment if you're actually going to do it. And so what I'm going to commit to you guys, and I really do appreciate you if you're listening to this, I'm going to commit to regular content. And I don't know exactly what that schedule is going to be. I don't know if that means daily or 3 or 4 times a week, but I want to make sure that it's rather regular. And I'm confident with my schedule. I can confidently do it, and I know that my interest certainly isn't going away, so I can certainly do that moving forward. And the other thing I still sort of need to figure out is exactly what format this channel is going to take, how I'm going to format each video. Obviously, at this point, heavy on XRP, and I think other than that, maybe cover some of the cryptocurrency landscape in general because it's all intertwined. But I'm really not interested so much in other coins out there because, to me, they don't do anything, But XRP is actually useful, and then you talk about the other businesses that are building on the XRP ledger, such as obviously Coil, there's R3, that was very recently, and there's Omni, and I'm sure there'll be more. So it's just astonishing to me that XRP, they're the clear leader. Forget market cap. They're the clear leader in the space in my mind. And again, I spent a lot of time, hours and hours and hours and hours, researching literally dozens of these stupid coins up here. Maybe they're not all stupid, but just they don't do anything. And I think, when you're at a point where you got thousands of coins in the space, a lot of these are going to go bye-bye. I don't know when that's going to happen or what process it's going to take, or what process it'll take, but this isn't sustainable. It's just that this is a new industry. It's similar to the whole .com thing. You had Pets.com. Everybody likes to joke about that, and all the internet companies that went bye-bye, obviously. But the industry figured itself out, and I think this will be no different. So anyway, I just wanted to get this out here. And again, thanks so much for watching. And again, if you do decide to subscribe, I promise there's going to be regular content. I'm going to figure that out. As far as when the regular content's going to start, I'm planning on no later than the end of next week, potentially sooner. But once I post the next video, expect a steady stream. And if you guys are listening to this, I'm guessing you already follow me on Twitter because that's where I'm posting it, and you're probably not going to come across this video otherwise. At least not right after I post it. But if you are watching this and you don't follow me, if you'd like to hop on Twitter, feel free. I always appreciate that. Thanks so much for watching my first YouTube video, and expect more from me soon. Take care.